everyone, welcome back.
Hi.
We're excited for you to be here with us today.
So excited.
We've got some organizational tips, and nothing gets me going like organization.
Pure productivity, organization, lists, all the goods today.
You know, if you just walk into like a Staples, the feeling you get when you
wow.
walk in.
The smell. There's a certain smell to those
Of
stores.
like office products.
Yeah. Like sometimes I'll go in there and I'm like, I just want to feel.
Yeah, I just want to walk around.
I just want to feel, like I want to smell what productivity smells like.
Yeah, like real, just raw office supplies.
Yum.
So we have a couple things. I think you have some things to say. I have some things for show and tell.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So I'll just take one out.
Please.
So this is a little calendar that for both of us that we can use together. I mean, this would work if you have like a lab partner or someone you work really closely with at work. It's called Just the Two of Us. And it has my stuff, our stuff, and your stuff.
Cute.
And yeah, I think it's really cute.
Where did you get it?
Amazon.
Our fave.
Yeah, I think it's a really great tool to use, with someone. It was like really cheap.
Excellent.
We love that.
Is it all the same like throughout, or
you know what?
It's like a little gander,
Let's
you
take
know?
a little look.
Oh,
I love that color scheme.
That is so pretty. So when we get to December, it's gonna be on. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so it's
every month has a different color scheme, and I'm so into it. Nothing makes me more excited.
Exactly. That's another thing. I really look forward to like what's gonna be the next month color. Like, let's get to it.
I will say I forgot to bring my planner. I should have brought it. In fact, that should be on my
thought you were
list.
gonna bring your planner.
I really
because she has a planner that I've had before. It's really great.
Fuck. I'm so sorry, guys. But I'll link it below. I can explain it, but basically it's a planner that you can customize yourself. And you have different sections on there. You can do by like weekly, by monthly, by daily planner. Mine is daily, and then there's always like a month view, so you can like schedule. I always put like meetings throughout the month so I know what's going on, and then every day I'll write like a little list on the daily section, and you can put what kind of sections you want on each page. I have a daily gratitude page or section on the page. I have a to-do list. I have a little open section. I have a little highlight section, like a box where I can write anything important. It comes with stickers.
It does.
So that's probably the most important thing you need to know. And then I'll put the link below of where I got it. But it made me think of that because April is this really pretty color, and I'm like, every time I open it, I'm like, it's April.
Yeah, I got the same one, except mine was obviously so different because you can customize. So mine was like a student one. So it was daily as well, but I organized each day by my classes. So I was able to, it actually said like physics, biochemistry, whatever, and you can put what you need to do for that day for each class. And then I had like a little, it was a little tab inside of each week that said a look at next week. So you can see like what's coming up. So I'll do like, next week I have a quiz, like don't forget. So you can see the week before. So that's really cool. You can do fitness pages on there.
Yeah, I have like a blog section for this, which I kind of like just jot down notes for like the podcast. I have, my favorite part is like the meetings tab.
Oh yeah.
I have like 30 pages front and back of meeting tabs because
so
I'm
nice.
Always in meetings.
And then you don't have two separate things.
Yeah.
Just all in one thing.
And I can always flip back and be like, okay, and it has like date, who was involved, what's like, what's it about. So amazing.
Yeah, they even have an assignment one that you can put like you can put it wherever you want after each week, after each month. But it's literally made just to do like your assignments for the semester when they're due, so you can mark them off and never forget anything.
Literally anything.
Yeah, you can buy more stickers to customize more. I actually got some bookmark type stuff. I love them. I use them for my cheap planner that I have now. But yeah, I highly recommend.
Yeah, definitely. So that'll be linked below. Do you want to show like everything you have and then I talk about like things? Not like products, but like ideas. Maybe that'll be easier.
So this is one of my favorite things that I have. I have 3 of them. Each one has a different color. So I have all the colors of the rainbow. So
it's for the people listening just to the audio, it's a container for like markers, pens.
And they're sectioned off by color. And then in the little bottom, each one I have like, some supplies.
And I love it. You should see her office.
It makes me just really happy. When I take notes, I have to use different colors.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice. I can just pluck what I want. I mean, the amount of happiness I get. It's just indescribable, honestly.
Yeah.
It comes in the pack of 3. I didn't buy 3 of them. They just stack together. It's the highlight of my day.
Is there like a go-to color? Is it purple?
I do like a lot of purples. I really like taking notes in blues.
Yeah.
Obviously yellows are not great.
That's true.
Anything that stands out, so usually what I'll do is I'll do like a purple, blue, and like green or pink. Something that stands out against each other, so if I need to look up one thing, it's
like sectioned off nicely, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll have like everything main topics is blue, everything side topics is I go all out.
I mean, is there anything better? I don't know.
No, there's not.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so next.
And where did you get going back really quick?
Amazon.
Still waiting for the sponsor.
And you got me this.
I did.
And I use it. So I love making lists. So I have 2 that I use really often. I use this one. So this one has a day and a week. So you can do everything. And this one I kind of just use like for the day. If I just need something for the day. So it's like super important. Then do this. Chill. This can wait. And that just really helps me. Like, I need to do that, but I can also do that tomorrow,
Yeah.
Instead of being like, I have to do all of this.
Yeah, it's nice.
Both of these, I got this on Amazon. I don't know where you got this, but...
I got that at a clothing store.
In the mall?
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
It used to be Copper Closet. It is Copper Closet.
It is
Copper Closet. Yes.
Copper. I knew it. Yeah. So cute. It has dogs on it. Anything like this will do. It just helps put everything in perspective. You get less overwhelmed, and what's better than a good old-fashioned list?
The like pure euphoria from crossing something off.
Even just writing it.
Yeah.
Even just making it.
Sometimes I'll write something stupid like
just breathe.
And I'm like, I
did that today.
Fucking killed that shit.
Okay, next. I brought my iPad.
Yes.
Because I really only use this. I mean, obviously, if you do office work or something, you could use this. I only use this for school, and that's it. But I wanted to show everyone how I take my notes. So it's organized by semester, and then each tab has a semester, and under that, each one is a class. So it's really great. You can write all kinds of stuff. I download stuff, and you write on it. So that's really great. It's really good for organic chemistry, because if you draw something like can you see this? Circle, it'll make it perfect for you.
Wow.
Square, it'll make it perfect for you. You guys know the benzene ring. I mean,
yeah, we all know the benzene ring.
So that's really great. It also connects straight to your whatever. I use Canvas at UF. I mean, a lot of people probably use that. You can, if I want to submit this, I can literally go to other apps, share the notes, a PDF, mix it into a PDF. I go straight to my Canvas account. I click the course.
Shut up.
The assignment, and I submit it right there. And it says, congratulations, your assignment has been submitted. How great is that?
That's amazing.
I'm drawing all over the place. Yeah.
She's like submitting like horrible notes.
So I love this app. A lot of people use GoodNote, but I like this one. It also...
Wait, I thought this was called Good Note.
Oh, this was OneNote. Sorry, a lot of people use OneNote. The reason I ended up getting this one was because you can record while you're writing, and you can go back, and as you're playing the recording, it will play what you wrote as the person is saying it. It's really great.
That's insane.
Yeah, so totally worth the it's like $10. I've been using it for years. Love it.
Wow. Okay, cool. Love that.
The next just few things I have is just organizing papers. I love these, and they're just little folder pockets, and I just, anything I write down with my hand, I'll put in here, and it's like by class. These are super cheap.
Yeah, I love those.
I got this from Walmart. I thought it was so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't quite used it yet, but...
folder pocket thing?
Yeah, just a little pocket thing, and it actually folds up pretty small, and then this is something similar.
Love that one.
Isn't this cute? Also from Walmart.
Wow, I got one at Target, and it was more expensive than I like to admit.
Okay, well, yeah, this one wasn't. I think this is so cute. It looks like a little envelope, and you can keep
it's chic,
papers.
too.
Yeah.
Mine's pink and hers is purple. Who's shocked? No one.
No. And then lastly,
the big boy.
This is also gives me so much joy.
Is that color coded?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. Does that say movable pocket dividers?
Yeah, look, they come out, and you can put them wherever you want. It's, oh my god, it's the best thing. So
okay, Mead, over here showing off.
Yeah. So there's that. If you can see, love these. I have several of them. This one's brand new, but what I usually do is I'll use this whole thing for like one class. I'll do test 1 and then with the divider and like test 2. So I can move the dividers around if one's like long than the other.
Love that. Wow.
It makes me so happy. And this is like you can, it's really nice. You can completely move it around. These are my favorite things. I buy them anytime I see them.
Yeah. See, that's one thing I wish I had when I was in school, because like that was a problem, because there were certain things that I would just write. Like I love writing notes, like actually handwritten. So I would just write all kinds of shit, and I wish that I had movable dividers.
I know. There's been so many times where it's just the frustration because you had to go through a divider, but it was the same topic.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, now I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm like, now I just don't even want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to look back on this now.
Yeah. No, I use this handwritten, and I use my iPad too for handwritten stuff, so both of them are really good. Just more organizational stuff, which we love.
We love.
What you got for us?
So, I'm going to start kind of bad.
Okay.
And it's for a reason. So I will admit, as shocking as it sounds, I have my flaws.
I don't believe it.
I know. Stop. I was kidding. I don't have any. No, but I've noticed, especially recently, and like it happened a lot like 2 years ago, and I talked about it in therapy a lot, but I've been super unmotivated at like work. Mm-hmm. Not just my actual job, but my side job. Like it's been honestly a bit of a struggle. And one of the things that I love, which we talk about all the time, are to-do lists. It's like just the pure ecstasy just coming through your veins. And I've noticed that it hasn't been helping me. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, this is not who I am. So I was actually listening to the School of Greatness podcast a couple days ago, and it was talking about productivity, and they had this expert on, and he was talking about how to-do lists aren't great. And I was like, all right, well, he can fuck off. Let's be honest. Like, if you want a real expert, you should get us. Honestly. I'm just saying. But like, he explained it, and it actually makes a lot of sense. And I've noticed that it does help me quite a bit too.
Is this gonna break my heart?
No. Okay. I think you'll still love it, because there's still, you can color code the shit out of it, so it's fine. But he said that like doing something in a calendar format versus a to-do list is much better in terms of productivity. So instead of I'm going to breathe today and I'm going to do this and this and this, instead you're going to put it in like slots of time. So from 9 a.m. to 9:15 a.m., I'm going to check my emails. from 9:15 to 9:20, I'm going to respond to any Google reviews. From this time to this time, and you just like schedule out your day instead of just free writing to-do lists.
I want to do this so bad, and I've tried to do it before and it hasn't worked.
Really?
Well, it's just because I think that my problem is like, you know, I'm like, okay, I need to study this, this, and this, right? And then I just spend too much time with like one thing. I don't know. Maybe that would be better if I set a timer.
Yeah. So that's my next thing.
Okay.
So if you could just slow down. Sorry. That's not part of my schedule. But yeah, so one of the things he said, which is very true, and I think if we're going to have a little mental health moment, I think that's what's been really like killing my vibe a little bit, is that especially nowadays when we're so busy, we have so much going on, we're multitasking up the ass, and like when we write to-do lists, if we go through the day without crossing everything off, you've kind of failed, right? Like you failed the day. Like, I think it's fair to say.
That is what it feels like.
Yeah. It's so good to write down everything and you're like, yes, doing this, I'm going to do this. You cross off one and you're like, I'm a fucking genius. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you look and there's 6 things that haven't been crossed off and you've crossed off 3. You're like, well, that sucks. Like I failed the whole day.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense. So he also said that like if you look at it as every human has the same 24 hours in a day versus everyone doesn't have the same to-do list. So I could have 10 things on mine, you have 2, and you cross off both of yours, and I cross off 3 of mine. I'm like, well, I suck, and Amber crossed off all of hers.
Yeah.
Instead, if you write down everything you're going to do from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then you have like a couple hours to just fuck around, you've been productive for your calendar.
That's good. I'm going to try it.
Yeah. And I've noticed that when I did that before without even really thinking too much about it, like, I do feel so much more productive because the only thing that you can base it off of is your schedule. And if you're following your schedule.
I mean, I guess you can think of it like almost like a class schedule. Like I can only spend 15 minutes in this and then I have to go to the next thing.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I can do that thing again if I need to do more. But today I have to go straight into this other thing.
Yeah. Which leads me, in a fantastic little segue, into the next thing, which is time restraints. So
I need this.
I don't know if you guys are like me out there, but I like a little drama in my life. And nothing's a little more dramatic than saying, holy fuck, I have to finish all of this today. I produce fantastic work when I'm under pressure.
Me?
Fantastic. Honestly, I like read things that I write when I'm like, okay, this is due today. I write this whole website. This is my
best work.
And I'm like, who wrote that? Like, dude. Like, I literally get shocked sometimes. I'm like, honestly, I'm a fucking genius. I didn't even know it. So time restraints typically for most people are good because it kind of like gives you that motivation to like, I literally have 5 minutes to finish this. Whether it's like true or not.
Well, I've done that on accident, like you said. Like, I'll put something off and like, I have a week's worth of homework to do and it's due in 20 minutes. And in my normal life, I'd be like, I could never do that. Yeah. But in that moment, I get it all done, and it's great.
You're like, I learned, I submitted,
I might not
and
have
I got an A.
I might not have learned, but
I submitted.
But it's complete, and
done deal.
It's crazy.
Cross that off your list. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Honestly, humans are like real fucked up. But so he recommends putting, and he even said, this is the same expert, he even said to put a little less time than you actually think it'll take you. So if you have to do something and you're like, this will probably take me 20 minutes, put 15 minutes down. Because you'll be like, fuck, I have 15 minutes to do this. And you're more likely to do it.
I actually love that.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, I'm literally going to play myself.
Yeah, knowing I'm playing myself. Because there's so many times where I'm like, this is due by the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And I can get it done in 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. But instead, it takes me 4 hours. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I've only done one thing.
And you're like, God, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm exhausted because I'll do work for 5 minutes, watch something.
Yep, yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah. So
I'm definitely going to try that.
Definitely recommend that. Again, it's been proven in my life because I'm like, wow, I'm fantastic. And then if I have all this time, I'm like, I'm not going to do it right now. I don't need to.
That's awesome.
So that leads me to the next thing. Everything's just flowing real well here. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty productive when I wrote this. Time batching.
Yes, I've heard of this.
So time batching is fantastic. If you haven't heard of it, it's basically when you batch certain items of things that you have to do throughout your day, or like meetings or whatever, into either one day or a certain amount of times throughout the day. So for example, if you have a ton of meetings, there are some people, it's kind of impossible with my day. I've really tried to time batch, it just doesn't work. But if you have a ton of meetings, maybe your meetings are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you schedule every meeting that you can on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that way Monday, Wednesday, and Friday you are doing other things. So you're not really like wasting time going from one meeting to trying to work, but you have a meeting in 20 minutes and you want to break. Like it just kind of, you waste more time.
I try to do this with my schedules of college, like do everything Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and try to have Tuesdays and Thursdays to do whatever.
Yeah, and you do need a break, so it makes sense.
And you save, like you said, you save so much time with just commuting, and you could like sleep in a little maybe.
Yeah, and it's good to like know like Tuesdays are my meeting days. Like I have a meeting every Tuesday.
You'll never forget it.
I'm in there. Yeah. I know it's a meeting day. I've got it down. I'm in a meeting mindset. Versus if I just get like sprung on a meeting on Mondays, I'm like, okay, well now I have to kind of like reorganize my life.
No, that makes so much sense.
I will say it is kind of hard. Like I've tried to time batch emails and a lot of people recommend this, where you do emails like twice per day. So in the morning and before you leave. It's like impossible with my work because things just kind of get sprung on. It's a lot more like you're reactive, which maybe not be the best thing, but like you kind of have to react to things as they come, and it's a lot harder.
That would work for my job, but when I used to work in office, it wouldn't work either.
Yeah. And I mean, kudos to anyone who can do it. I think you're far more productive and intelligent about how you use your
time. I think it should be that way, but a lot of bosses are like, I sent you an email 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Why haven't you looked at it? I'm like, I'm not just sitting on my email.
There's someone in the company I work in, I'm not gonna get specific.
I wouldn't.
But they'll send me an email that second, and they'll be like literally, like it hasn't landed in my inbox yet, and they'll be like, hey, I sent you an email about this, this, and this. And I'm like, can you, and then I'll get the notification. I'm like, why? Okay, so you're either gonna send me the email, fine, or you're gonna verbalize it,
right?
But you don't do both at the same time, because now I'm doing something, I get interrupted, I respond to the fact that you sent me an email. My response is, okay. I get the email, I respond to, it's like,
it's too much. It's too much.
And no, it's not my boss. I know you guys were thinking that it's not my boss. I would have lost my mind by now. So time batching, if you're able to do it, that's, the dream one day is to be able to time batch. We're not quite there yet. So this next thing I try to do, and I do sometimes when I'm like really killing it, and it's to start with the hardest thing on your list first.
Yeah, I try to do that too.
I think it's against our human nature to actually do it first. But when you do, if you have the drive to be like, all right, I'm just going to start with this, your day is so much easier. It's so much better.
There's some days where I do that, where I'm like, I have to like knock this thing out first. And there's other times where I'm like, well, that will take me 2 hours, and these things will take me 15 minutes each. So I can get all of this done, and then by the end of the night, I'm like exhausted. I'm like, oh, now I have this 2-hour fucking thing.
Yeah. We always trick ourselves.
Yeah. So either way, I'm even.
Again, I'm not perfect. I know it's shocking to everyone.
We're all surprised.
We're all shocked. I'm just having a really hard time right now. That's all it is. But yeah, sometimes I'll start with the hardest thing, and I'm like, dude, my day's a fucking breeze right now.
After that, it just goes straight uphill, right?
Yeah. I'm like, if I can do that, I can literally do any of the things on my list.
That's a really good thing to think about.
I'm not quite there yet right now, but, one thing at a time.
We're all working to be there.
We are all works in progress.
Right.
One thing that I do try to do, again, now it's a lot harder with like my main job, just because I have so many meetings with so many different departments and stuff. But what I would like to do, and what I've done in the past, is kind of shorten meetings. So it kind of blew my mind when I like heard about this, and then I tried it and I was like, wait, this is amazing. So if you have meetings that are 1 hour long, always, it's 1 hour, it's scheduled, it's from 3 to 4 every day, whatever. Try to next time schedule it for 30 minutes. guaranteed you can make it a 30-minute meeting. Typically, when you know you have an hour to have a meeting, you'll talk, you'll discuss all this stuff, but all these things can be done in literally half the time. If you have a 30-minute meeting, shorten it to 15. Guaranteed you'll be able to do it. There was a time in my life when I was just like the fucking baller that I know I can be one day again. I had 15-minute meetings for every meeting. Like, I was just boom, boom, boom. And it would really be nice to like verbalize it. Be like, hey, okay, I have about 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. Because then there's no like small talk and just like bullshitting around. You just get it done and you're done. And that's only 15 minutes of your day versus a 30 or an hour long meeting.
No one needs an hour meeting, I don't think. Like, do you actually need an hour to talk about something?
For the safety of my job, I will not respond.
Fair.
But the meetings I organize, in and out. I don't want to talk to you. We're done. Let's move on. So that's just a little hack, I would say. So just kind of try to shorten your meetings, even if you do it by like 10%. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like a 20-minute meeting that you have, like, try to make it 15. It's a 15, try to make it 10. Like, just shorten it just a little bit, and people will learn to kind of respect your time. And like, if they know it's a 10-minute meeting, oh my God.
They'll be ready to go in 10 minutes.
Yeah. And then they'll be like, we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
So try that. I recommend. So this is another thing that I heard from the School of Greatness podcast that I thought was amazing. And it sounds so stupid. And then I tried it and I'm like, damn, this works. So it's called the 10-minute rule. And it's been like peer reviewed and studied and all these things. And basically the 10-minute rule is a way for you to kind of trick your mind from, let's say you are doing some work, it's kind of boring, and you're like, I just kind of want to scroll on my phone.
I know that.
For no reason. Like, you just want a little break, right? You want a little break. You deserve it. You've been doing 2 minutes of work. What you'll say to yourself is like, okay, I'll do that in just 10 more minutes of work, and then I'll do it. And if you tell yourself, like, okay, this is kind of boring, but just 10 more minutes of this, and then I'll have my break. 10 minutes from now, you can decide, yeah, all right, cool. But typically what happens is after you've worked for 10 minutes, you're like, oh, dude, I forgot that I wanted to scroll on my phone.
Or you're like so into it already.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, let me just do that. Yeah, I'll just 10 more minutes.
I need to do that as well, because I get wrapped up in I just need a break with my brain, and then 2 hours later, I'm still watching YouTube.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even like TikTok, but here I am.
Yeah.
Well, like, so he also explained that this is something you can use in like every aspect of your life. So if it's like diet and you say like, oh, dude, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go get a donut. It's like, well, maybe not right now. Maybe like, let's do this first.
Let's drink a glass of water and wait 10 minutes and then see.
Yeah. I'm going to drink like 10 minutes. Give yourself 10 minutes. Because 10 minutes sounds like so like, And that's like, the psychology behind it is that when humans hear like, no, you can't do that. Or like, no, don't be on your phone. The first thing you want to do is be like, why can't I be on my phone?
That's how I got my fish tank. Someone said, no fish tanks. So I had to go out and buy a fish tank. And now it's my pride and joy. So.
It's human nature.
You can't help it. If you tell me no, I might have to go do it that day.
Yeah. And it's like the analogy he used was it's like a rubber band. And every time you say no, you stretch it more and more and more. And when you get to the point where you're like, okay, you're not going to just go back to here. It's going to just ricochet off into like the middle of nowhere. It's going to snap. And that's kind of the human nature. That's the science behind like binge eating disorders and things like that. Or like alcoholics and like any kind of addiction or anything like that. Yeah. So it's the same thing with your phone. If it's like, no, you can't be on your phone all day today. You're going to be like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to be on my phone all day today. Yeah. So you're going to want to like reach for it. But if you just say like, no, just like 10 more minutes and then I'll go, you'll probably not look at your phone at least as often. So I thought that was really good.
And when you said time batching, this is kind of what I thought you were talking about. Have you ever heard they said like work for 45 minutes and break for 20?
I think that's called the Pomodoro effect.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. But yes, and I've done that and it really works.
It does?
Yeah.
I want to try that because even just 45 minutes of like
straight
work, actually, your full attention, you can get a lot done. Because usually, I'm really bad about this. I'll have something playing in the background. I really have half my attention on whatever I'm doing. And then I take a break, and I'm like, well, I only got half the,
Yeah.
But I want to make myself, like, 30 to 45 minutes of just pure, I can get so much done. But it's so hard.
Well, one thing that I did a lot in the past, again, when I was a much better person, I guess, is I would, and that's kind of leading into my next one, which is, like, put your phone in a drawer.
Yeah.
So and I'll even do this at work sometimes if I'm just really not into it, I'll put like an alarm for 30 minutes and I'll put my phone in the drawer, I'll shut the drawer, and like, that's it. Like in my head, I'm like, I literally can't touch this. Like unless it bursts into flames, which I won't want to touch anyway.
You put a little rat trap on it.
Yeah, I put a roach on there and be like, I can't do it. I'll die. But like, once you put your alarm, then you give yourself 15-minute break. And like it's like a reward.
Yeah, exactly. I heard you're much more productive that way because you can make yourself, instead of being like me in half attention at all times, half attention for 3 hours, you get so much more done in just the 45 minutes of straight attention.
Yeah. You really do. Like it's a great, I think it's like a good way into kind of like getting into it and like trying to just bring yourself back into like a productivity mindset.
Yeah, just setting a little bit of like ground rules, I'd say, for yourself that you try to stick to. I have a really hard time disciplining myself, but I need to get better about it.
Well, one thing that, and this is probably the last time I'm going to talk about the School of Greatness episode I listened to, he talked a lot about like kind of the psychology behind needing a break and like reaching for your phone. And that can be like something you're doing is really hard right now. Yeah. And it's exhausting. Or you're bored. Or you feel like you're going to fail. There are all these kind of like incentives for you to reach for it versus you just need a break. You typically don't really need a break. You're just like, oh my God, this is so boring. Like, I'm just gonna. Next thing you know, you're deep in it.
And you could have gotten so much done.
Yeah. So he was like, when you take those 10 minutes of like a break, also just kind of sit there and be like, okay, why do I feel like I need this break? And I even realized it today. I was working and I was doing something with like the code and it wasn't matching. I was just getting so frustrated and I literally just like started doing this. Wasn't even looking at anything. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, I just reached for my phone because I got so frustrated because this is hard and I feel like I can't do it. And I was like, feeling. That was weird. I'm going to go ahead and try again. I figured it out. And I'm like, oh.
And sometimes you do need a break, but in my mind, it's like, it's just too many.
Yeah. I'm like, the whole day is a break.
Yeah. So
yeah. I think there's a lot that we can kind of do ourselves and see what works for us. Again, I love a to-do list. Like, it kind of hurt my feelings when he's like, it's the worst. I'm like, yeah. But I think it depends on the mindset. Like,
well, what you could do is make your to-do list and then transfer that over into times. And if you don't have enough time for everything, something's got to go. Yeah. That's just the rule. Something's got to go.
But my to-do list isn't going anywhere.
No, I'm still going to make that. Let's be honest.
Breathe. Check. Yeah. Done. I put it every like 10 seconds and then breathe again.
And just drink water every 5 minutes. Like, wow, I'm really doing a lot today.
I need to go pee because I've been drinking so much water. I should add that on my list.
I peed.
Champ. But yeah, so that's all I got.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll try to link some of this stuff down below. I highly recommend everything I've said, everything she said.
I love that, like, you brought the actual physical things.
No, we didn't even plan it.
We did not plan it. It was so perfect.
Yeah, so, get yourself some things that look cute, that will motivate you to actually get in the office and do stuff. That's what half of this stuff is, just motivation tools for myself. And then you can get some really functional stuff, like a calendar and, something you can write on and put it all together, and now you're organized. All of a sudden, your whole life has changed. Yeah. Trust us.
Yeah, no, I hope you guys liked it. Let us know if there's anything that you guys have tried that you love, or something that you're like, I tried that and it was a big fucking fail.
Yeah, any tactic that we could use, I'm always open.
Yeah. So, there you go.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks. See you next time.
Bye.